For some who feel the sport of rugby compares to football. And when you watch the Olympics, check out Team USA's women's squad, and there you will see Naya Tapper. Now, she went to high school in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, and I spoke with Naya before she took off for Tokyo to discuss how, frankly, a young black woman got involved in rugby and how she developed into an Olympian.
In high school, I was running track and field all 4 years, and we ended up weirdly having a rugby team at our majority African American minority school. And we had a math teacher, a white man, who brought the sport into the school and kind of got everybody into it. I wasn't able to play because I was running track and my coach didn't want to risk any injuries. But once I got to college at UNC Chapel Hill and decided not to pursue track and kind of just wanted to enjoy the college life and focus on my academics, I came across rugby again. That was probably God giving me multiple signs over and over again. I ended up trying out for the team. As you know, for a club team, majority of the people will make the team. So I did make the team. And I think I realized I was good athletically, I'll say. Skillfully, not so much, because it wasn't required so much back then. But there was one game where I scored 8 tries, and that's just like unreal. And I'm like, okay, you know, I might actually be good at this. And also being reached out to come to a national camp in California 2 months into playing, that was kind of the realization that this sport can take me really far. And then in terms of falling in love with it, I don't think I fell in love with it until maybe like 4 years ago, where it became my life, not only on the field, but outside of the field, wanting to get back to my community and to the rugby community specifically.
What goes through your mind when you realize you will be an Olympian? And also, what do you expect?
I was definitely excited, relieved that I was finally reaching my goal after 5 years. I think the thing I'm most excited about is making my family and friends proud. They've been on this journey with me, supporting me all the way. So being able to go there and show them that dreams do come true as long as you work hard for them, I think that's really important for them to see.
Naya Tapper and the U.S. Women's Olympic Rugby 7 squad begins pool play Wednesday against China. Tashani, what a pleasure to speak with that young woman, and we'll have more on her in our next hour of BNC Live. All right, thanks so much, guys. I am Anthony Amy, and with the opening ceremony complete, the Tokyo Olympics are officially open. And if you get a chance to check out women's rugby, you will see this young lady for Team USA, Naya Tapper. In our last hour of BNC Live, she explained how she became interested in the sport of rugby and what it means to be an Olympian. This hour, she explains how rugby compares to American football. You've only been playing about 5 years or so, is that right? 5, 6 years?
Professionally, yes.
So, and already an Olympian, which is remarkable. So for the viewers who do not understand the nuances of the game, how much is it like American football, and what is your favorite element of the sport of rugby?
When people ask me what rugby is, I usually try to compare it to a combination of soccer and football. Soccer, where it's kind of continuous, you can end up on attack or defense at any moment in the game, and kind of the length of the game is pretty similar depending on if you're playing 15s or 7s to soccer, where in 15s you play 40-minute halves, and in soccer I think it's kind of similar, if not a little more. In terms of football, it's pretty similar to that, but instead of passing forwards, you have to pass backwards. You can do kicks, and a big difference is like how you score in football. All you have to do is run into the end zone with the ball, but with rugby, you have to run into the end zone and actually touch the ball to the ground, and they call it a try. And what else? We have like a lot of different restarts where you can do a kickoff, you can do a scrum, you can do a line out, which I think is a lot different from a lot of the other sports. I think the thing I like most about rugby is all the skills combined that you as an individual player have to have in 7s. If you look at a lot of the other sports, they have specific positions, and in those positions you have one specific role. But in rugby 7s, you do have a specific role, but at the end of the day, depending on where you end up on the field, you have to be able to do what everybody else on the field can do. So I think that's the amazing part of it, is all the amount of skills that you have to acquire and become really good at in order to be successful at this level.
There will be millions across the globe who will be looking at Tokyo and looking at you and saying, I want to be like that. And there will be someone who will say, I didn't know that I could do that and play rugby. What does that mean to you?
I think it means everything, because like you get here and you're like, I want to do this for myself. I want to do this for my friends. I want to do this for my family. But at the end of the day, a lot of my support comes from like the people who follow me on Instagram or Facebook, who are following my journey and supporting me, even though they have never met me in person. Just the trust they have in me that this Black woman is doing so well in rugby, and I didn't know that this sport even existed. Being able to be an inspiration to people, whether you chose that route or not, I think is really special, and not many people get to be in this position. So because I am, I want to take full advantage of that and try to be the greatest representation I can for women, for Black people, for rugby players, just for everybody in the world to see the great things that this sport brings me.
What a delight she is, and a tremendous representative indeed. Naya Tapper and the U.S. Women's Olympic Rugby 7 squad begin pool play Wednesday against China. Tashani.
Yeah, she's just such an inspiration, and you look so happy. You had this huge smile on your face while you were interviewing her.
No, she was tremendous, and she's also going to be a part of a new league that is forming called the Premier Rugby Sevens. That league begins play October 9th. It'll be the best men and women in the sport in North America. Again, that league starts October 9th, but of course, first, she has some business to tend to in Tokyo.
I know. So speaking of that business in Tokyo, when can we see her compete?
Yeah, so again, it'll be Wednesday starting against China. So the U.S. women's rugby team starts Wednesday against China. Look forward to it and possibly learning more about the sport as you watch. And of course, Naya just provided a little bit of a tutorial of sorts for you so that you'll know what you're seeing as you watch.